Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so today we also got Nimrod's deep dive from Marvel Concept Champions official YouTube channel. And even though we do not have all exact abilities, we have a very good idea of what this champion is going to be. And at the same time, keep in mind these are kind of like initial impressions. Obviously, how good the champion actually turns out to be is going to take time to see. It's going to have to come to the game. We're going to have to play with him. We need to see how all the numbers check out, all of that other stuff. So these are much more of an initial impressions, kind of initial idea, but at the same time it gives us a very good insight of what the champion is going to be about. So let's start with the basics. He's a robot, so he's going to be immune to bleed and poison. Also, armor breaks cannot remove armor up effects, and they suffer 100% potency. Now that I already personally do not like, because this is one of those things that goes against the class archetype. This is to counter, because Cosmic Champions typically armor break a lot, and Tech Champions typically get a lot of armor ups, therefore they're naturally weak against the class that they have disadvantage to. And Kabam has recently started going quite a lot against the grain. And in addition to the ability against mutants, gain immunity to ability accuracy modification, now that ability alone I would understand, because that is against mutants, against somebody that you have class advantage too. And obviously this combination of that you cannot remove armor ups and that armor breaks suffer 100% potency, obviously directly also counters Magneto. Which alone is something that I would, again, be able to live with, even though it kind of goes against the same idea where Magneto is the counter to tech, so they're creating a counter to a counter, basically. But at the same time, they are also screwing over all the Cosmic Champions, which are meant to be good against Tech Champion. And that I don't like. That I don't like one bit, and I wish they just stopped. Really wish that they just stopped. That armor breaks cannot remove armor ups and suffer minus 100% potency could have easily also just referred to mutant class. And that would have been fine. Counters Magneto. One champion that I specifically don't want Nimrod to get wrecked by. But there was no need to also kind of like make him good against majority of the tech champions for whatever reason. I don't like that. I really dislike this kind of idea, philosophy that they have going on for them. Let's move on. So all attacks deal energy damage instead of physical. Now we have mainly seen this in Mystic Champions, but there are champions for other classes. In Mutant class we have Jubilee, in Tech class we already have Guardian, and then we have Human Torch in Science class, so on and so forth. I personally, I'm kind of indifferent to it. There are advantages to it, there are disadvantages to it, and ultimately it's just a change of the status quo. It's not necessarily a huge pro or a con in my book. You know, still can be useful. And his all abilities are going to basically work around two protocols. He has his Titan protocol and he has his Blitz protocol. Titan is effectively the defensive one, Blitz is the offensive one, and he has like this ultimate eradicate protocol that combines both of them. So you start in Titan protocol and you shift every 11 seconds or when you finish a full combo with a light attack. On start and when protocol timer expires, gain 1 armor buff. All personal armors provide 550 armor rating for 20 seconds, and they also increase the potency of your like attack bonuses and a bunch of different things. So armor buffs are actually very important to Nimrod's kit, and they are fairly chunky armor buffs. Especially once you get like 5, 6, 7, then you know it's decent amount of armor. So gain 1 protocol charge per unique ability applied by each protocol during special attack. And they each special 1 or special 2 has a unique ability based on which protocol you're in. There are going to be ways how to gain more of these protocol charges, like when gaining an armor up buff, and you can gain more of them by parrying and doing different things. And again, and when the opponent activates prowess or regeneration, you also gain them. So that's going to be handy mainly against mutants. A lot of them gain prowess, for instance. At 10 protocol charges, launch a special attack to activate Eradicate protocol, which is kind of like your ultimate damage mode. And here we can see that, for instance, in Titan Protocol, you reduce the amount of damage you take. And the more armor ups you have, the more the damage effectively you reduce. When you launch a special attack, when opponents launch a special attack, they receive a cowardice buff. And what cowardice does, it reduces special attack damage. Quite simple as that. It's kind of like an anti-prowess on opponent. It's a debuff. In Blitz Protocol, you gain extra damage per armor buff. You can see that the difference is quite significant, and especially when you have higher armor up stacks. Also, when opponents launch a special attack, they get power drained over time. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this ability works because we didn't see the exact text of it, but that seems like an extremely valuable ability. I'm not gonna lie, that seems like a really, really good ability. But if opponents has quite a lot of power gain, you force a special 2 out of them, and then you can go ham at them because they're gonna be below bar power, and you're gonna consistently keep draining it. That seems quite good. And he has abilities to inflict shock as well, and gain these protocol charges. So level 1, that's also the thing there. When you're in Blitz Protocol with your level 1, you inflict shock debuff on opponent that lasts 2 seconds. And when you are in your Titan mode, you gain a 45% energize buff. And if you time your special attacks kind of perfectly, as just they're about to switch, you can actually get both bonuses even if you're not in Eradicate mode. So that is also quite useful for sure. And on top of that, when you're fighting against Nimrod, and this is an ability that every single one of us are going to hate. When you're fighting against Nimrod, when he's on defense, every time you feel a bar of power, you're special locked for like 2 seconds or something like that. That means when you get yourself over bar of power, you can't use a special attack. So that's going to make it impossible to do certain champion rotations, like Dr. Doom. Because with Dr. Doom, you shoot from power bar to power bar very quickly. You drop a level 3, and then you quickly get up to a level 1. And then if you do proper Doom cycle, opponent is at 3 bars of power when you're meant to drop your level 1, but you can't do it. And even if you somehow manage to drop your level 1, then again, you're going to be power locked on your level 2. So it's going to be a very annoying thing to play around, 100%. But yeah, so here we can see that Energize buff, level 1. Also, level 1 in Blitz, I think that was a mistake. That I said level 1 in Blitz mode inflicts energy vulnerability. Level 2 is the one that inflicts shocks. But yeah, level 1 in the Blitz mode inflicts energy vulnerability, which obviously all your attacks are energy based, so you can let you do more damage. And that's a quite significant increase. So you can see that from 2000 to 3200. Yeah, that's a fairly significant chunk. So level 2, when you launch it in your Titan mode, so in defensive mode, you gain an unstoppable buff, which is a very valuable piece of utility. And if you launch it in your Blitz mode, you inflict shock on opponent per hit. Level 3 has regen on it. It regens, 25% of your missing health over X amount of seconds. If you stun Nimrod after level 3, he loses regeneration, so it's careful not to get stunned. But that can be quite useful bit of sustainability. By the way, level 3 animation is absolutely insane. It's awesome. You guys have to see it. And also in your Blitz mode, you deal extra damage on opponent based on their missing health. Now, signature ability, Eradicate Protocol grants unblockable special attacks and increases the potency and duration of special attack effects by 35%. So that is definitely useful. More potent and longer shocks and unstoppable and energy vulnerability, so on and so forth. And against mutants, you generate 1 armor buff whenever you would gain a personal armor buff. And if defending, that's going to be a nightmare. Instead, gain +1 armor up per mutant on attacker's team. So you can't even bring mutants on your team if you're going to be fighting Nimrod. That's going to be annoying. So even if you're not going to be using mutant champion, just by having them on your team, this is the first time ever when a player is punished by having a champion on their team. Don't like that either. Don't like that. Synergies. So Nimrod and Sentinel gained 225% attack rating for each additional Nimrod or Sentinel on the team. You know, it's neat. It's nothing crazy. Then we have New Wave with the Unknown Champion. If a personal shock effect is prevented, you inflict Incinerates instead. That could be very useful. Obviously, ability to bypass shock immunity. And Robots, plus 5% combat power rate for each shock on the opponent. Max 50%. Keep in mind, this would affect Nimrod as well. So, this could potentially be quite awesome for Nebula at times, now that I think about it. But we'll see how it works out. Let's move on. Nimrod and Sentinel, and again an unknown character. Up to 25% armor rating based on missing health. You know, fair play. And robots, if a robot is defeated, they gain a self-repair crossfight effect to be consumed next time they enter a fight, regenerating 15% of their missing health over 20 seconds. This when this, well, basically is stopped if stunned. And this just makes every single revive kind of go longer. So you can revive a champion, and you know they gain extra health. That's nice. It's again, it's nothing game changing, but it just can help you some health, save you some health potions at times. So Nimrod, okay, this synergy we took a look at with Sentinel, sorry, with Ultrons, reduce opponent purify and nullify ability accuracy by 50%. That's nice. It's not bad. Also robots plus 50% chance to inflict a stun debuff for 1.5 seconds when performing a parry and non-contact attacks. That can be useful too, definitely. And let's move on with Kitty Pryde and Storm. This is actually quite interesting for both Storm and Kitty Pryde. So unblockable special attacks create 1 armor up per defeated mutant in a quest. Not bad. And Storm, if failing to activate stun during special 1, gain an indefinite dormant prowess that initializes when launching a special 2 effect. Each increasing special attack damage by 100% for 20 seconds. Max 5%. Now, obviously, Storm is not the most amazing champion, but this could be very interesting against stun immune opponents with Storm, where you can stack these up to 5 by spamming your level 1s, and then drop a level 2, and that's going to be a crazy level 2. I don't know. It's probably not going to be the most practical thing, but it's going to be quite fun and interesting. And against for Kitty Pryde, heavy attacks are guaranteed critical hits every 8 seconds. But this is a way for Kitty Pryde to drop a heavy attack and gain 2 additional prowesses. So that also would be quite helpful for Kitty Pryde. All in all, that is all that we have pretty much seen from his abilities. And again, I'm not a fan of several of the things that I mentioned in his design, like how he just poops and armor breaks. That's not meant to happen. I don't like it. It goes against the class archetype, point of the class archetype. Again, I see absolutely no reason why that armor break, potency, and you know that other can't remove armor ups, why it could not have been against mutants only. In this case, it would quite literally be better to use, I don't know, Mystic Champions and nullify the armor ups, right? Rather than inflict armor breaks, which again just does not feel right. Don't like that. All in all, I think Nimrod will be a good champion if his numbers hold up. Because I'm not gonna lie, I am slightly worried about that. Based on everything that I saw. It didn't seem like very, well, potent damage dealer. We'll see if he is. Maybe he is. But this is the 2 ways how I can see this going. He is already likely gonna be pain in the bottom on the defense. Really tanky armor ups. Can't be magnetoed. Can't be armor broken. You know. Messes with your special attacks. Power drains you when you use special attacks, so on and so forth. Has unblockable and unstoppable and stuff. He's likely gonna be quite annoying on defense, regardless whether he hits hard or not. His offensive utility, I think, largely depends whether his numbers hold up. So that remains to be seen. Overall, his kit is good. But again, keep in mind that if his numbers don't hold up, that good kid doesn't mean too much. Good example is like Psycho Man. His damage is so pathetic, it doesn't matter what his kit is. Hope that's not the case. It didn't look it's going to be anywhere as bad as Psycho Man. But we'll see about that. But it's definitely a defensive annoying champion. And the more I thought about it, Kitty Pryde's also going to be an annoying defensive champion. You're effectively going to have to treat her as if she has Mighty Charge on at all times. Because if you're going to be using a miss prevention champion, she's going to be gaining a ton of power. And you can push her at level 3 like with a single combo. Or like combo and a half. So Kitty Pryde could potentially be also a defensive problem. But I doubt it's going to be as bad as Nimrod. We'll see how it works out. Interesting champion. Again, likely going to be a pain in the bum. Let's hope that he can actually help us solve some problems as well. Let's hope he's not a Korg. Hope he's something better. Let me know what you think, how it's going to work out, and how do you like this Kabam's new philosophy of creating counters to counters? I'm not a fan, definitely, of that. Nimrod, however, still might be a very good champion. Either way, that's it for now, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya! Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information